Hello guys. Hey, we're back looking at these parts for the 1958 Cadillac Eldorado Brougham that we just finished. I want to go over the last component that we just finished up today, and that's basically redesigning and remaking the relay that powers the entire system. So let me get set up to display it, and we'll get started. Alright, this is the relay. Previously in our videos we talked about the pull down system for the trunk lid and the latching system that operates that, or latches to this portion here, which sends signal throughout this small switch we had to refabricate the guts of and get worked out. Well, let's look at this latching relay system that we had to come up with. None of this is original. The original components were big wire round coils, secondary relays, which cause these big coils to latch and to energize and do all kinds of crazy things. We didn't receive this relay with original parts. Someone had took an attempt to try to upgrade it. I presume that the original parts had failed, or they didn't know how to repair them, and so they tried to upgrade it and just fell a little bit short. Good effort. I just don't think they understood completely how the components worked in relation to all the other components that this relay has to control. So we started over. We started from scratch. Of course, this is the lid to the relay system itself. We made all new gaskets, correct quart gaskets. And we insulated the inside for this side of the relay, just so if there was any incidental contact, nothing would be shorted out. So I'm going to set this aside. Looking at the brand new relay, we used heavy 30 amp triggers for the latching, and then we used heavy 10 amp latching relays. These are double pole, double throw, and then a heavy duty 15 amp circuit breaker for the power feed coming in. Real heavy 12 gauge wiring coming off the components, because this does have to conduct quite a bit of current. On the back side, we built this. We used a pedestal top latching relay, and I'll show you why in just a moment. But let me go over these components here. This is the leads which go to the motor and the clutch solenoid. This is the open lead and the closed lead going to the motor itself. This is the power feed off the connector, which the original wiring harness in the car will connect to this. I like to leave these leads in the corresponding slots so that when the owner receives these components back, he can verify that the connector that goes to these wires are in the correct orientation to plug into this. If none of this is right from the wiring harness, this system obviously will not work. So I do this so the owner can verify before he makes contact and power that all this works properly. One of the improvements we made on this one is simply we built this off a pedestal base, the relays, and that just simply means this. If a relay fails, the operator can remove it himself without having to rewire the whole configurations. Give us a call, we'll send him a new relay, and he can plug it right back in and tighten everything up, and he's done. The system is back together, and he didn't have to spend a fortune in getting everything rebuilt again. It takes a lot of time to, of course, to redesign the whole configuration to operate all the parts. There's one other part to this system that we did not have, which the owner verified works properly, and that's actually the motor which raises the trunk lid. There's three components that this relay has to control, along with limit switches, which tell this unit here when to stop feeding power to the other units. And at this point here, we're going to verify the operation of this unit that we've constructed, and we're going to do it through the manual. The manual tells us that to verify operation, what we do is plug in a power feed to the feed going into the relay. And we're going to check the open circuit first. So we're going to move the open and ground. So we're going to provide a ground to the opening circuit. Now, when you initiate the operation of this unit, you'll either do it from the trunk of the car where you turn the key at the trunk lid, or from a button in the glove compartment. So what we're going to do is we're going to actuate the opening system, and we're going to send a momentary pulse of power, which is what would happen when you either push the button or turn the key to energize the opening circuit. And you'll hear a relay click. That was the relay clicking. Now, if the system is operating the way it should, we have now energized the opening circuit, and we have, and the solenoid which closes the clutch, and we have. This circuit here is for the closing, and of course we have no power there, and that's correct. Opening has received energy. Now let's verify that the closing circuit works. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove our ground, and we're going to move the ground from the closing side, which is the green lead, which works off a limit switch. Okay, now we're going to trigger the side that causes the latching relay to be energized, which is the orange lead. Listen carefully and you'll hear the click of the latching relay energized. Okay, now let's verify its operation. We should have power here, and we do, and we should have power on the solenoid, which we do. We should not have power here, which we do not. That means our entire relay system is working properly. What we should have here in both modes of operation, whether it be opening and closed, is feed going to the other components, which is this black connection here, the black wire. And we do have feed, so that's operating also the way it should. Checking ohms of resistance is what we do to verify our circuitry on every component that we build. This is very low resistance. We're getting true voltage. Whatever our output is what we're getting through the system. So we know we're having a conductive piece here that is giving us real voltage that will be transferred to the opening and closing motor, and the end result is a system that functions the way it's supposed to. There is one other modification we made to this unit. This unit, when it was originally manufactured back in 1958, had a small lead that came off the power lead, the opening lead, which would be this yellow lead going to the motor. And that lead would send current to the dash to let the operator know that his trunk lid is open. Not a necessary part. The reason we've eliminated that, we found in the past when rebuilding these relays that this lead has failed. This lead has a small diode that comes off of it, the lead that we eliminated. And if that diode ever fails, what happens, it feeds power back through this relay system and burns up the relays. We accomplish opening and closing and notifications to the operator of the vehicle through this lead here on this component, which is a lot safer and doesn't cause any problems down the long run. It's much more durable, and the lead is already in the trunk compartment to attach to this. So we achieved the same goal that was originally intended by the originator and builder of the car. We just do it a lot neater, and we eliminate any possible issues with destruction of the electrical components. So that's what we've done to this point. I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but we've got 60 hours just in rebuilding and fabricating new parts and pieces and redesigning relays to upgrade this unit to where the customer can have a great operating system and still stay in compliance with the originality of the 1958 Cadillac Eldorado Brougham. Check back with us on our future projects. I hope you have a good evening. Thank you very much.